Welcome to the third episode of the Football Fellows. We're going to discuss this week the predictions and analysis for the game starting tomorrow on the 26th of January. The first game we have up is the two early games. Crystal Palace at home to West Ham United. Crystal Palace, West Ham, coming off a 2-1 win over West Brom in the last league game. Michael Antonio back and scoring goals. Jake, what's your prediction on this game?
West Ham versus Palace. Palace, is there Zaha in for this one?
I don't know actually. It's at Selhurst Park. I don't know whether he's back yet. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Either way, I'm going to say with Antonio back and the likes of Souček and Bowen.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for 2-1 win for West Ham.
Yeah, I think I'm tending to agree with you. I think West Ham definitely a stronger team right now. But it does make a big difference whether Zaha's fit or not. And I do know Eze's been playing very well, but it's just too much for one or two players to do it on their own. I'm going to go Crystal Palace 0, West Ham 2. And the next game up is the other 1 o'clock game on Tuesday. Newcastle at home to Leeds. Newcastle coming off a 2-0 defeat at Aston Villa.
All right. I think last time they played Leeds, they won, correct?
Newcastle?
Yeah. Pretty sure I remember Leeds winning that game by a couple, I think. This time around, I think Leeds will win again comfortably in possession. I think Newcastle's not doing that well lately.
No, they're on a terrible run right now. I think Steve Bruce is probably in a bit of trouble here, to be honest with you.
And Leeds will win 3-0.
At Newcastle, St James's Park.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. I think, look, Newcastle on a very, very bad run right now. I'm not sure how much time Steve Bruce has got left. I don't think he's got a good enough squad. Leeds have been a bit inconsistent recently. They look like they're going to be a good team this year, and they could well still be. But they've had a couple of indifferent results recently. But I do think that Leeds overall are going to be too good for Newcastle. I'm going to go Newcastle 0, Leeds 1.
Yeah, and last time they played, they won 5-2.
Oh wow! Right. I remember that.
I remember now.
So the two afternoon games on Tuesday. Southampton at home to Arsenal. Southampton coming off a what did Southampton do actually? I can't remember what they did.
Southampton. Who was their last game against?
I don't remember. Actually, Arsenal coming off a 3-0 win over Newcastle. So the game that I was thinking of, that Southampton in the cup, they just
beat Arsenal.
They just beat Arsenal 1-0 in the cup, and I think both teams had pretty decent teams out. And I mean, Arsenal didn't have the full strength team out, but again, Southampton at home to Arsenal. What are you thinking?
For the betting odds, I think it's a good shot for Southampton.
Well, let's do the betting odds.
Yeah, and then for the prediction, I'm going to say two kind of equal teams. I'm going to go for a draw on this one. I'm going to go for 1-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go exactly the same thing. I think Arsenal have been on a really good run lately. I'm glad that Arteta is not under so much pressure anymore. I think he's a good coach.
Ings is back.
Ings is back, but they're missing both their full-backs, Bertrand and Walker-Peters. Even though Valerie's coming in, he's a very, very decent replacement. So I think it's all pointing towards a draw. Southampton 1, Arsenal 1. And then the other afternoon game that day is West Brom at home to Manchester City. Manchester City coming off a very comfortable, although very exciting game against Aston Villa, where Man City came out 2-0 winners, even though it was a controversial first goal for a lot of people, and me included. So West Brom at home to Man City, Jack.
Man City's on a really good run right now. They're definitely, in my opinion, the best team in the Premier League. Man City are going to completely destroy West Brom, who I think will be relegated this season. I'm going to go for a thrashing 5-0 Man City. They're going to absolutely just trash West Brom in this game.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be close. I think even without forwards, they seem to cope quite well. I I'm not sure when Aguero's supposed to be back. It's got to be sometime soon now. I think he was out for COVID protocol, but that time has got to be up almost now. Jesus, I understand. This guy's got to score some goals to keep him at the club. He's not doing enough for me. Most of the goals are coming from the midfield. Foden's been in really good form recently. I hope he keeps his place. As an Englishman, I hope he keeps his place. But I'm going to go West Brom 0, Manchester City 3.
Yeah, that last game Foden played with, he made a huge impact. Every time he got the ball, he created a chance.
Yeah, he's been very, very good. And of course, with De Bruyne, with Sterling, who's been a bit cold recently, actually.
Definitely.
Same with Mahrez. I mean, these two players have got a ton of ability. But a little bit disappointed with Mahrez recently. He's not really shown his true form, I don't think. But this is a game.
I definitely think Foden should play.
Yeah, I think he will start. And I think, like you said, it could be anywhere between 3 and 6 goals for Manchester City. So Wednesday, starting with Wednesday's games, the early games. Wednesday, Burnley coming off a fantastic 1-0 win at Liverpool. Burnley at home to Aston Villa, who we just said beat Newcastle quite comfortably, very, very comfortably, 2-0 at home. Watkins on the score sheet again, so
weird
that was
goal.
good for him.
That was a weird goal.
Very strange goal. But Burnley at home to Aston Villa. I mean, Burnley against Liverpool, they did ride their luck at times, but me and Tarkowski were absolutely superb. I think Pope is the best English goalkeeper right now, should be in England's number 1. A very, very incredible rearguard action. Not sure they deserved it, but they stuck to their guns and that they defended heroically. So I do think they're going to come down to earth with a bit of a bump on this one. I think Aston Villa's got too much ability for them in the midfield and up front. I'm going to go Burnley 0, Aston Villa 2.
Yeah, I was going to say probably the same thing. 2-0 Villa. Grealish, Barkley, Watkins, even Douglas Luiz. I know he's defensive, but they all play really well together. And against at the weekend, they played really well. They created a lot of chances. And Burnley, they don't score very many goals, so I'm gonna go for 2-0 Villa. Once they get that first goal, they should be more comfortable.
Yeah, and then next game, the same time that same day. My team, Chelsea, at home to Wolves. As a Chelsea fan, extremely disappointed and pissed off that Frank Lampard has been fired. It just goes to show you in the Premier League, and particularly with Chelsea, that you have a run of bad performances in games. Your coaching position or manager's position is under threat immediately. Look at Arteta. I mean, 4 or 5 games ago, he was under threat. I think he's won his last 4 games now, outside of the cup, and he's safe for now. But it can turn very, very quickly. Tuchel, I don't think, is the answer. I don't particularly care for him as a coach. I think I could probably coach PSG to win the French league every single year. He did get them to the Champions League final last year, which was a pretty decent achievement, obviously. But I think Frank is one of the best young coaches in the Premiership, and I think we've done ourselves an injustice by getting.
He's a Chelsea man.
He's a Chelsea man, but I think But then some people will say, because he's a Chelsea man doesn't mean he should keep his job just because of that, because he's such a legend. But I think he genuinely showed a lot of promise, especially last year, and with Derby the year before that he would be one for the future for sure. So, but Wolves are coming off some strange results this year themselves also. I think Chelsea at home to Wolves. I think it's a difficult one to call actually, because I'm not sure how settled the Chelsea team's going to be. You don't know what side's going to be put out. Abraham scored a hat-trick in the week, albeit against Luton in the Cup. You don't know what Tuchel's thinking is going to be. He'd be thinking. I don't know if he's even going to be picking the team that first week. But I'm still thinking I'm going to go Chelsea 2, Wolves 1.
Yeah, and I'm a Man United fan, obviously, but I also really like Frank Lampard, and I wish he didn't get sacked. I feel it was very harsh. Nor do I like the manager that much of PSG. Well, now Chelsea, and like Mr. Fellows here said, we're not sure what lineup's going to be out, but maybe Werner will somehow come to life under a German manager now. But I still think Chelsea's going to win because their players are much better. I'm going to go for 2-0 Chelsea.
Okay. And then we got an intriguing game sort of close to the bottom. Brighton, who have promised so much this year, against an improving Fulham team, it has to be said. Fulham coming off a narrow defeat against Manchester United at home 2-1. They're definitely showing a lot more spirit right now. Fulham, they seem better organised. I think they've got some very quick and agile players in their team. And like I said, Brighton keep. They get a couple of good wins, and then they lose to teams that you don't expect them to. But I think this is a huge game for both teams, even at this stage of the season. Bit of a 6-pointer. I think I'm going to go for 2-2 in this game. Brighton 2, Fulham 2.
I'm riding high on Fulham in this game. They've been playing really well, and they have all the confidence right now. They barely lost to my team again, Manchester United, and they're just playing good football. And I like Brighton's players as well, but like previously mentioned, they're not getting the results or playing as well as maybe they should be, because they do have some good players like Lallana, and Lamptey's been out, I know. And I'm going to go for 2-1 Fulham in this one, actually.
Okay, then the afternoon games, you got Everton at home to Leicester, which should be a very good game. Yeah.
Last time around, Everton won 2-0, I believe.
Against Leicester?
I believe so.
Yeah, at Leicester, that's right.
Yeah.
But Leicester are coming off a very, very comfortable 2-0 win against Chelsea. Way too comfortable, and some of those players should be ashamed of themselves on the Chelsea team, quite honestly.
They could have scored more as well, hit the post.
Yeah. Leicester seem to be a team. I don't think Vardy's playing. I think Vardy's out, which makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it's very big.
Although Maddison's playing fantastically well, Harvey Barnes is playing really well. Definitely got some talent there on the Leicester team. I think Pereira's supposed to be back, but I don't think they necessarily need him right now, because the other full-back, Justin's been doing a great job. I know that Calvert-Lewin's back, and the best player in the world did score at the weekend in the FA Cup. Richarlison.
Self-proclaimed best player in the world.
Yeah, exactly. This is a strange one to call. If Vardy were playing, I think I would lean towards more Leicester, but since he's not playing,
he's definitely out.
That's what I heard. Yeah, and Iheanacho is just not a good enough replacement for me. I know they could potentially play Perez up front, but I'm going to go Everton 1, Leicester 1.
Yeah, without Vardy, it's hard to go and call a side in this one. Better to be safe and call a draw, which is what I'm going to do as well. But yeah, Maddison's been playing really well, and we were saying earlier in the week, imagine if Maddison and Grealish would be starting for England. What a great combination that would be for England.
Yeah, would never happen.
Players. Yeah, no, it won't happen because of the manager. But in this specific game, I'm also going to go for 1-1 or any sort of draw.
Yeah, and then the afternoon game is your lot at home to Sheffield United. Manchester United versus Sheffield United. Manchester United actually coming off a really, really good cup win against Liverpool, 3-2 over the weekend. I don't remember what Sheffield United's score was last week, but I don't think it really matters what their score was last week, because it seemed to be the same score every time. So I think Manchester United at home should win very, very comfortably. I'm going to go Manchester United 3, Sheffield United 0.
Yeah, we're playing really well right now. Pogba's been one of the really standout players in this season for us. He's dominating the midfield.
Recently,
and he's creating a lot of chances for us, and he's also playing more attacking than he used to ever, which is obviously a huge deal, which should have happened earlier. But we're playing really well. I'm going to go for... I'm not just copying him. I am going to go for 3-0 as well. It's hard to say anything else. Sheffield United is they're definitely the worst team right now, and we look to be one of the best, if not the best. Obviously, Man City, I think, is definitely the best.
Not the best.
But other than Man City, I think we're right there. 3-0, Man U.
And Thursday's game is a great game, actually. Really good game on paper. Tottenham at home to Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool's stumbling right now. They just lost at home to Burnley. They just lost in the cup to Man U, the big rivals. They've been on a pretty bad run recently. Tottenham just won today against Wickham. 4-1, 3 goals in the last 3 or 4 minutes, which completely flattered them. I think I've got a feeling Liverpool are going to hit form eventually. They're just too good to go through such a stark time right now. I think this could be the game that sees them open up. I'm actually going to go with a strange one. I'm going to go Tottenham 1, Liverpool 3.
Okay. Yeah. I could probably go along with that, but Tottenham. Ndombele has been a player that just scored that incredible goal at the last Premier League game for against Soon. He scored 2 today, and he was always supposed to be a promising player. Looks like he's coming alive now.
Yeah.
And they'll have Son and Kane in there, which they didn't have today. And Liverpool's been on a really bad run. I know people keep saying that they need another center back, which is probably true, because they don't have any out-and-out center backs in their team right now. Fabinho is doing a good job. I think that in this market they should probably pick up one, like the pundits are saying, would help them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go for Liverpool win as well. I'm going to go 2-1, though. I think it'll be a little closer. I could see Tottenham getting a point out of this, but if I'm going to choose the winner and say Liverpool.
I think you bring up centre backs for Liverpool, but I think it's what Chelsea need as well. Clearly, Rudiger's not good enough. Zuma has been better this year, but he's still not the answer for us. Thiago Silva is a short-term answer, and going back to the Burnley game, how well they defended. I can't understand why someone, whether it be Liverpool or my team Chelsea, would not go after me or Tarkowski.
Yeah, they're both really good.
They're fantastic players, and I'm sure they would cost a lot of money, and I'm sure that Sean Dyche would not want to sell them, and he certainly wouldn't want to sell them on the cheap. But for my team Chelsea, we're crying out for a central defensive partnership. I mean, on the wings, you got Reece James as the right back, and you've got Chilwell, who's our left back and has been, is normally solid. I don't think he's been that solid recently, but where we're suffering right now is at the centre back positions, and me and Tarkowski. To me, it's a no-brainer, and the same for Liverpool. But whether they want to go to Liverpool because would they hold their places down? I mean, certainly when Van Dijk comes back, no one's going to take his place. But certainly there's one place up for grabs there. I don't understand why the transfer market right now is not nothing. I have nothing about me or Tarkowski, but if you saw that game against Liverpool, you'd say most teams would be after them. Now going on to onto the betting side of it, we've got some couple here that that cry out for some attention. I think for me, I think the Manchester United half actually. Manchester United half at home to Sheffield United. I think Manchester United half to winning at half time is -128.
Wow, that's really good.
Which I think is really, really good. I think the other one that stands out to me is Leeds away to Newcastle. Leeds are -112, which is close to evens. It's not a bad bet at all. I don't know if you've got any thoughts, Jake.
I was going to say Man U half. We should definitely.
Even Man City half at -170.
Yeah, that's the other one I was going to say.
Yeah.
Man U half. We should definitely be winning, if not by more than one. We will have probably all the possession, I would assume, and all the chances. Leeds, not only did they win 5-2 last time against Newcastle, they should have won way earlier in that game. It should have been much more comfortable. They were completely possessing them. They're the better team by far. Newcastle's in a slump right now. They're not good. Man City half, like I said earlier, I think they're going to win 5-0, so obviously I think they're going to win the half. And anything better than -180, I think, is really good.
Yeah.
And those are definitely the three for me. I don't see anything else that really stands out to me.
No, I think
those are three.
If you want to parlay, I would parlay Manchester City half and Manchester United half at -170 and -120. I think it gives you good value right there. And I think not only does it give you good value, but I think you should feel fairly confident in that one.
All three of those I feel very comfortable in.
Yeah, so we'll be back on Friday, Thursday or Friday with the weekend
games.
predictions and analysis. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.